Hello everyone, I'm Nina, and in this tutorial I will show you how to draw 3 different types of fur: short, long and curly. I think this video will be helpful for the ones who want to draw the pets and to understand how to get that fluffiness. So hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and let's start the tutorial. For this video, I will need graphite pencils. I'm not going to use the entire set, just a couple of pencils. And by the way, it's totally fine if you have only one pencil, you will still be able to draw. And I will take 3H and HB pencils. I love using black pencils instead of soft pencils, so I'll take one as well. And of course, I will need an eraser. Mine is shaped as a pencil, and it's very comfortable when pulling out thin lines such as hairs. And I also need a brush for blending. But basically, you just need any blending tool, and I have a tutorial on how to make a blending stump yourself at home. The link will be in the description among other helpful links. Alternatively, you can use a Q-tip or a soft tissue. And this is my life hack, my secret, my something that helps me to draw fur. So the pink one is called dots, and the metal one is a pusher. So basically these are my nail instruments, but they're very special because they're pointy. Look at their tips, they're actually sharp, but not sharp enough to ruin the paper. And if you're curious why I need them, then watch the tutorial and I will show you everything. You'll be surprised and happy. I've already prepared 3 circles for the 3 different types of fur, and I'm going to start with the left one. This one is for the short fur, the one in the middle is for the average length, like for the longer fur, and the right one is for curly fur. I'm taking the hardest pencil out of those 3 I chose, 3H, and starting to make short and steady strokes following the direction of the hairs. In my case, it's downwards. I think most breeds of horses have this type of fur together with the short-haired dogs, cats, and even rodents. It's very important to keep your pencils sharp because thick lines will ruin the fluffiness we're trying to achieve. I'm a big fan of blending, and I think it's a lot faster to blend for 5 seconds instead of render for hours and hours. Moreover, blending will make the fur look a lot more softer, fluffier, lighter, and therefore realistic. So yeah, I'm taking a brush and blending everything after the first layer of graphite. So after blending, I'm taking the same 3H pencil and doing the same thing, but pressing a little harder this time. In case if you're curious, all my fluffy circles are 10 centimeters, and it might seem like it's a very small space, but when it's about fur, it's not. It might be very tiring to make a million tiny strokes, but that's how it is, guys. Be patient here and you'll do great. By the way, guys, this is not the only tutorial on my channel. I have the entire playlist filled with awesomeness. Check it out. And I also have an Instagram profile where you're very welcome. I post all my drawings there, all my progress pictures, art experiments, and even giveaways. And talking about Instagram, check out all the pet drawings that I made using these techniques that I'm talking about in this video. So I'm pretty sure if you watch till the end, you will be able to draw it too. I'm also giving attention to the sides because I want to show how the fur looks from the sides as well. And since this fur is short, I'm just drawing thin and short strokes along the rim. By taking an HB pencil, I'm giving the drawing depth and making it more 3D by working with the shadows. Basically, I'm keeping the center a tiny bit lighter and the sides darker. And of course, I'm taking an eraser and just pulling out some hairs here and there, so now my drawing has light hairs as well. Also, I'm just making a few dark strokes all over the circle because this kind of random hairs will make the fur look more realistic. And yeah, remember to blend when you feel like it, because as I said, I think it's important to get that soft and fluffy look. Let's move to the middle circle. Here I'm going to draw longer fur. And here I will be using these things. As I said, it's called pusher and dots. You see, their tips are very thin, and I figured that if you use them to press on your paper, it will leave a thin line that looks like a hair, and it won't be possible covered with graphite. So I'm just drawing white hairs by using the sharp end of my pusher, and later I will have very thin white lines that I wouldn't be able to erase, for example. I was thinking what else you can use for that, and I'm sure it can be anything that's sharp enough. For example, a nail or a bobby pin or a paper clip, but be careful not to ruin the paper. So this is the type of fur my cat Misa has, and many other pets as well. I found a few pictures for you on Pinterest, so take a look. I'm starting with a 3H as well, but this time my strokes are longer and sometimes even more curved, which is pretty logical, I think, because the hairs itself are longer and can be affected by many factors. For example, when your doggo is playing outside, its fur can get wet, dry out in the wind, and become a tiny bit wavy in some places. And being able to see this kind of details will definitely make you and your work better and even more personal. So after the first layer, I'm blending the drawing and taking a softer pencil to do basically the same except one thing. I'm trying to avoid the highlights, because I believe it's a lot easier to avoid than erasing it later. And just like in the previous drawing, I'm making the fur darker along the rim. Since this fur is longer, the hairs on the sides are also longer. Blending will make my strokes look softer, so I'm just doing it pretty often. Just like in the previous drawing, I'm taking an eraser to pull out the highlights. And this time I'm also taking a black pencil to show the darkest hairs. So you can see that there needs to be a balance between dark and white hairs, because the light reflects even very dark hairs. So every fur has a few highlighted hairs. So it's time to fill in the last circle. Now we're going to draw curly hair. To be honest, I have never liked drawing curls, because it's complicated and I'm not gonna hide it from you. Yeah, it's hard. But what I figured out for myself to relieve my struggles is that I have to draw the shapes of the curls instead of going all in. So if you need to draw curly hair or curly fur, draw the actual curls first, define them to be able to see clearly where they are. That will help. So I drew where I want the curls to be and filling everything in using a 3H pencil. And of course I used a pusher as well.
This is Roxy, and he's asking you to hit the like button and to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it yet.
And look at these cuties who have curly fur. Cats, dogs, sheep, chickens, and even some guinea pigs can be curly, guys. So it's not rare at all, and I'm happy I included it into my tutorial. By the way, I just realized that chickens don't have fur, they have feathers. Whatever. Just like in the previous drawing, I'm trying to avoid the highlights. To be honest, I'm trying to avoid curls in general because it's so tedious to draw them, and I'm really trying hard right now. By using an HB pencil, I'm trying to define each curl, each lock, and shade around it, because everything that's behind is darker, because they cast shadows. So basically, I'm trying to draw every single curl, and it's easier if you actually see them, so that's why I told you to sketch them first. For the darkest areas, I'm using the black pencil, and in the end, I'm pulling out the highlights using an eraser. And also, I'm just erasing some random lines to make it look a little messy and fluffy.
So that's it. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I'm pretty sure if you gather all your patience and take a few pencils, you will be able to draw beautiful fur. And if you want to show me your drawings, use this hashtag on Instagram, and most likely I will see your work and maybe even give you a shout out, who knows. Anyways, thanks again and see you in the next tutorial, guys. Bye!